Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Frater. A Falmouth-based librarian got a taste of the true meaning of curiosity one warm evening in March 2013 when she inadvertently became prisoner number one shortly after the new Falmouth Police Station was officially opened by Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and National Security Minister Peter Bunting. After the station was officially opened, the librarian was among the persons milling around taking a look at the new facility. Her sightseeing took her to the new cell block, where she ventured into one of the new cells. Somehow, she got locked up in the electronically controlled cell, and to the absolute dismay of everyone, it was discovered that the key to activate the system was on its way to Kingston in the pockets of one of the officials who had ventured down for the official opening ceremony. This was so because while the police station was officially open, the cell block was not yet commissioned into service. As frantic efforts were being made to locate the gentleman with the key, the unfortunate librarian was forced to spend hours locked away all by herself. With the ventilation system in the cell not yet activated, she must have felt like she was locked in an oven. In the hours that she was locked away, the librarian must have cursed her curiosity many times, as while it is said that curiosity is the mother of all inventions, here she was trapped inside a cell block, the victim of modern invention. It must also have crossed her mind that there was another saying that curiosity kills the cat, and surely with the oppressive heat inside the cell, she could well have been killed. Unless, like the proverbial cat, she was blessed with 9 lives. Luckily, after some 4 to 5 hours, the man with the key was located and the key was sent back to Falmouth to release her from her unplanned agony. When she was released from the cell, reports are that the first thing the librarian asked for was water. She reportedly drank enough water to fill the radiator of a small car. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be revisiting that story from a story I wrote for the Gleaner, which was published on March 8, 2013, under the headline, Prisoner Number 1, An Unauthorized Night in Jail. Falmouth Woman Creates Dubious History. The story read as follows. While she did not commit an offense, a library assistant from Falmouth in Trelawney will go down in history as the first person to spend time locked up in a jail cell at the new Falmouth Police Station, which also serves as the headquarters for the Trelawney Police Division. Shortly after the new police station was officially declared open by Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and National Security Minister Peter Bunting on Wednesday afternoon, the unfortunate woman, whose curiosity led her to take a close look on the inside of one of the newly constructed cells, inadvertently got locked inside. I understand she went in the cell and was having her photograph taken by a friend, a policeman who asked not to be identified, told the Gleaner. Somehow she got locked inside and she could not be released as the person who had the key had earlier left for Kingston. The Gleaner subsequently learned the cell block, which has not yet been commissioned into service, is controlled by an electronic system which cannot be opened without the key. The key is required to activate the system. Fortunately for the woman, after she had spent several hours locked up, the man with the key was finally located. The key was reportedly sent back to Falmouth so that she could be released. When the Gleaner visited the Falmouth branch of the Trelawney Parish Library, where the library assistant is employed, her co-workers were quite defensive, refusing to reveal her correct name or divulge any information about her. She is not at work today and I cannot give you any information about her, said Simone Forbes, another library assistant, as she looked in the direction of the cell block located just yards away from the library building. After traveling around the town and making several attempts to get information on the whereabouts of the woman whose identity this newspaper has chosen not to reveal, the Gleaner finally found someone who could give direction to her home. When the Gleaner arrived at the woman's home, she was nowhere in sight, but a man who was sweeping the veranda became quite agitated, telling the newspaper she had nothing to tell the media. While the woman shied away from giving a first-hand account of her experience behind bars, the Gleaner understands that during her ordeal, she complained about being thirsty on account of the staggering heat inside the cell, but it was not possible to provide her with any refreshments. The cell is constructed in a way that nobody can push anything inside from the outside. The door must be open to access the cell, a policeman told the Gleaner. She could not get any refreshment or anything. She just had to bear the condition and wait until the door was opened. During her unexpected ordeal in the jail cell, some of the persons on the outside were quite encouraging, telling the lady to hang on and wait as they would stay with her until the person returned the key. However, some of the persons on the outside were not so kind, telling her that she was going to go down in the history book as the first prisoner to be locked up at the new Falmouth Police Station. Some of those persons were reported shouting out, "Prisoner number one, how in the field?" In looking back at what was an hilarious story for some of the persons who were on the outside, it definitely must go down as one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Fruita. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.